everyone. Welcome to another episode of Tad Tuna. My name is Samantha Copeland, and I am a program facilitator on our customer programs team. And if you're wondering what programs does she mean, these programs right up here above my head, Ignite, Ember, and Spark sessions. If you have joined us, hello. There's a good chance you had me as your facilitator. And if you've never joined us, we definitely invite you to do so because we dig into some of the stuff that we're going to dig into today, particularly in our Ember sessions where we focus on TitanAdvisor. So we're going to be talking about a specific TitanAdvisor feature today, and that's going to be about automating your appointment reminders. And we're going to talk about what value that brings, and of course, we're going to talk about what needs to be set up to do so. In order to do all that, obviously I need to be in ServiceTitan. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and we're going to jump right in. So we are here in ServiceTitan. Now, if you're familiar with TitanAdvisor, then you probably know where to go to find it. But if you are not familiar with TitanAdvisor, it's very easy to get there. We're going to come up here to the upper right-hand corner of our screen. And in that same kind of area where your settings are and where your account menu is, we're going to see a rocket ship icon. And if we click on that, that's going to bring us to TitanAdvisor Overview. If you guys want more information about kind of this overview, this screen, how TitanAdvisor works, highly recommend signing up for our Ember sessions, but there's also some pretty great Academy videos as well as help articles on this as well. But like I said, today we're going to focus on a very specific area of TitanAdvisor regarding appointment reminders. So to get to that particular feature, we're going to come over here to the left-hand side of our screen, and we're going to look under customer communications, which makes sense. And when we click into customer communications, we're going to see that we have automatically been kind of planted into the launch phase. Nothing here that we need to set up from a TitanAdvisor perspective. So we're going to move away from launch, and we're going to get into our next stage here, which is going to be acceleration. And once we are here in acceleration, we should be able to automate your appointment reminders. Now, this one is nice, not only because there's some points at stake. We have 4 points on the line here that we can get if we complete the setup for this, but it's also marked as a quick win. And just as a reminder, a quick win feature is one that requires a low level of effort to implement, yet provides pretty significant return on investment. So we like that, right? We want to do little to get a lot, and that's what this feature is going to allow for. So let's get into the details about that, right? Let's go ahead and click into automate your appointment reminders. So now that we're here in the feature, just want to call out a couple of things. First, up here at the top, next to the About section, we see these little icons. If we hover over that first icon, that little house, it says provide exceptional service. So this particular feature is here to provide exceptional service for you specifically to provide exceptional service to your customers. And this is also here to help increase efficiency, right? We're looking to automate a process. And if we set it up correctly, then obviously that automation can make things a little more easy and streamlined and bring that efficiency to our business. And ServiceTitan also recommends the usage of this feature for all customer types. So whether you're in service and replacement for residential and or commercial, or you do construction for residential and commercial, it's always a good idea to notify when an appointment is coming up. So this can be set up and used regardless of the customer type that you provide for. Now, obviously, when it comes to kind of bringing the value, like why are we setting up a feature like this? When it comes to automating your appointment reminders, obviously reminding your customers that they have an appointment coming up is going to do a couple of things. It's going to bring kind of like confidence to your customer. They know that you know that they have an appointment. But it also is going to let the customer know they have an appointment as well. It's called a reminder for a reason. So we want to eliminate or at least reduce the scenarios where a customer has forgotten that they have an appointment, so they aren't on site if they need to be, or last minute they cancel because they forgot you were coming. By sending out that reminder ahead of time, it kind of reduces those situations and lets you kind of get ahead of them if a cancellation is involved. You guys can shuffle the board as needed. And the affected KPIs we're going to see, right? So no-show percentages. We're going to see a reduction in those customers who are not around when they should be on their appointments because they simply forgot. And then also customer satisfaction rating, right? Customers like to be communicated to. They like to know what's going on. And this kind of reminder can help up that satisfaction. Now, like I said, this is a pretty quick feature to set up, and it kind of provides a lot once you do. So if we scroll down here to the bottom, we're going to see there's only 2 items that need to be set up in order to use this particular feature. And once these 2 items are set up, those points are yours. Now, the first item that we see here under what to set up is to set a default SMS number. Now, there's a good chance, particularly if you've gone through the phone integration process, that you already have this. This is already completed. But if it's not, we'll go through the process. In order to get a completion on this particular step, all ServiceTitan is looking for from a success criteria is a default outbound SMS number is set up. And we'll talk about how to do that here in a second. And then the second and final thing that needs to be set up is going to be enable appointment reminders, text notifications. And I want to highlight the text notifications specifically because you can set this up to go out via email, which is great. We like that too. But if we're looking to get those TitanAdvisor points and get that completion, we want to be sure we're using text specifically to remind our customers of upcoming appointments. The only success criteria that ServiceTitan is looking for is to enable appointment reminders, text notifications toggle is enabled. All right, so you might be thinking, okay, that's all great. So how do we do those things? Very simple. We're going to now get into our settings and we're going to look at these 2 areas and the setup that goes into them. And once they're set up, you're going to be good to go. So we're going to start with setting up a default SMS number first. Now I'm going to go ahead and open up my settings in a new tab. That way I can get back to this particular screen a little quicker. But you can also, let me go back in here. You can also hit this Get Started button and it'll take you directly to the settings, the area in settings that you need to get to in order to set this up. So I'm going to go ahead and open up my settings. Once we're here in settings, we're going to come down to phones because we're trying to set up an SMS number. And then we're going to go to phone numbers here. Now, once you're here in the phone number section, like I mentioned, there's a good chance you might have some phone numbers in here already, and you might already have an outbound SMS number set up here at the top. And this outbound SMS number is just going to be the phone number from which these reminder texts are going to come from. And if your customer responds to the text, the number to which these responses will go. Now, if you don't have a outbound SMS number already set up here, it's a pretty simple process, but there are a couple of considerations that I want to highlight. So I'm going to come up here to add a new number, and it's going to take us to this new number wizard. Now, the thing I wanted to make sure you were aware of was the complete register for texting. So this is a regulation that was put into place within the telecommunication industry that requires companies who are going to use text messages to register their business so that the customers know that when they get a text, the text is legitimate, it's to reduce spam. It's good for you guys as a business. It's good from a customer confidence perspective, but it's something you want to go through first before you set up your SMS. That way, the regulatory bodies know that you've been registered, and then once you get your SMS number, you can hit the ground running using it. You can register directly from here by hitting that Register Now button. There's articles in the Help Center that you guys can read if you have further questions, but always like to call this out. Now, when it comes to the phone number that you are looking to use, you have the option to either go with a local number or a toll-free number. If you select toll-free number, you can just hit search numbers, and it will give you whatever toll-free numbers are available to choose from. If you select local number, you can come in here and specify an area code that you would like that particular phone number to have, or a zip code. And then once you hit search numbers, it's just going to give you a list of those numbers you can choose from. I'm going to choose that first one. We're just going to hit choose number. Once you choose that number, there's some additional settings that we need to put into place. The first one being a forwarding number. So if the customer happens to give this phone number a call, we want to be sure it does get forwarded appropriately within your phone integration. So I always just set the forwarding number to the default one we have here. Excuse me. Allow incoming SMS. We do want to be sure that is set as yes. And then, of course, if you would like, you can set a campaign and determine whether this call type would be a lead or not. But once you have those things in place, you can just hit add number. And it's going to add that number to your list. And if this is the phone number that you would like to use for outbound SMS, you can simply copy it and paste it in your outbound SMS default field up here. So that's going to be making sure we have a SMS number set up in our phone settings. So that's going to be step one in automating our appointment reminders. Now, step two is going to be enabling those reminders in our settings. So once again, if you would like, you can hit get started directly from here. It'll take you to the area in settings that you need to be in to get this set up. I'm going to go the long way around so we can kind of see how to navigate there. So I'm going to go back to my settings page and get us to our customer notifications settings. So we're going to go to settings. I'm going to go over here to communications. And we're going to click into customer notifications. Now there are a number of customer notification types in here. And I know at least one other one of these is also measured by TitanAdvisor. There might be more. But we're going to focus only on one of those today, and that's going to be our reminder notifications. Though, of course, if you're curious about what the other ones entail, feel free to kind of explore and click into those. But we're just going to look at reminder notifications for today. Once we click into this, it's going to bring us here to our settings. So like I mentioned, we are focused mostly on text notifications from a TAD perspective, a TitanAdvisor perspective, because that's what TitanAdvisor is looking for, how we set up our text notifications. But I do want to highlight here that you can also set these up to go out via email as well. You'll just want to be sure you enable that here by turning this toggle on. But I'm going to go ahead and go back to text and talk a little bit about this. As we can see, we have set up our default to SMS number. If you need to get back to those settings, you can get to those settings from here. Now down below, we're going to see the message content. So when these reminder text messages go out, what language or what do we want them to say? We can see the body of the message here, and we also get a preview over here as well, which is really nice. And if you want to come in here and customize it, edit it, etc., you just hit that customize button, and it's going to bring you to not only the ability to edit in this main body, but you'll also see we have personalized tokens over here as well. So if you want to add a more personal touch, excuse me, or just change the type of info that you want to include in this particular text, all you have to do is select the information you would like to input into the text message, click on it, drag it, drop it where you would like it to go. You can then come in here and add some additional text. If you need to delete anything, you can do so. You can add things like service location, job date, arrival time, etc. And then I also want to highlight here the reply to confirm. Now, I talked about how we wanted to enable that SMS number to also receive incoming messages. If a customer texts back, that's one thing. But if you do have job confirmation set up in your reminders, meaning we are asking our customers to reply to confirm that they got that reminder and they're confirming that appointment, obviously that's going to come in as an incoming text. So we want to be sure that we are configured properly to use this particular personalized token. Once we have those edits kind of made, we can come up here and hit preview edits. Once again, it's going to show us what that message is going to look like. And just to highlight that reply to confirm, we can see reply C to confirm shows up down here at the bottom. And if your customer replies with the letter C, then it will confirm their appointment on the dispatch board automatically. All right, so that's kind of configuring your message, right? Your text. Another thing we want to look at here from a notifications perspective is our settings. So up here at the top, next to email, we have a settings tab. A couple things we want to consider when we are looking at these settings here is when we would like these appointment reminders to go out. These settings will apply to both SMS and email reminders. By default, we have it set to go out 24 hours before their appointment time. However, if you would like it to go out at a specific time the day before, you can also do that as well. And then we also have the ability to exclude. So if there are certain job types that you don't want reminders to go out for, certain business units you do not want to go out or you don't want to send reminders out for, you can also set up some exclusion rules as well. And then finally, I talked about those automated job confirmations where a customer can go in and reply C and it'll automatically mark that appointment as confirmed. You can turn this on or off here. So if you don't have it on and you would like to turn it on, all you have to simply do is turn that toggle on, and that will allow for that functionality with the reply of C. And if this is not something you're super interested in, of course, you can turn it off as well. All right, and that's going to be setting up your reminder notifications. Just want to be sure that you are hitting save up here at the top to save any changes that you have made. And you are now good to go. You have text messages set up to go out 24 hours ahead of time to let your customers know that they have an appointment tomorrow. All right, heading back over here to TitanAdvisor. Once you do that, you will have this marked as complete because remember, we're simply looking to enable appointment reminders via text, and you get those 4 points. All right, that's today's TAD tune-up, going over automating your appointment reminders. We hope to see you guys in a program if you haven't attended one before. And of course, check out all the other TAD tune-ups that we have because they all go over features like this to help you get as much out of ServiceTitan as you possibly can. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you guys have a good day.